Oh, right. I wanted to make sure I recorded this video because it shows such more of a learning lesson from me trading in the month of course, May. Right. This is May 26, 2020. It is 1:34 in the morning, and I want to go over one stock that I traded during the trading week of May 18th through the 22nd. This was the weekend before the Memorial Day weekend. So, as I'm looking at my watch list, and I've been saying from the previous weeks that I wanted to make sure that I kind of limit the amount of stocks that I trade because even though I see a lot of movement and I see a lot of plays, I don't have to really trade them all, right? And if you can do this one second, right? If you can like or subscribe this video on my page, it's particularly for this video because I really do feel like this has a lot of learning lessons in it. And I want to make sure that I really get this message across, right? Because it's one trait that you really, really need to get a hold of to become a very successful trader. And that one trait is learning when you are stubborn. you know, Stubbornness will kill you in the trading game. And, gratefully, I've been able to trade and earn with other trades like CODX and GRWG, which was phenomenal, a phenomenal play. SPWH was another one for me. Those were my top earners for the week, and CANF. But when it comes to my loss, I had one significant loss, and it pretty much could, if you don't get a grasp of this behavioral psychology, where your ego or your stubbornness can get in the way of your trading, then your success will just fall to the wayside. So, with that being said, INO, Innovio Pharmaceuticals, they have, coronavirus drug, just like every company. There's like 20 million companies. Well, that's over exaggeration, but there's a lot of companies that have a coronavirus drug. But the biggest thing that I wanted to even show you is just the way that this stock could move, right? And when I originally got in on this trade, now mind you, this is on this Tuesday. This is Tuesday, right? And last week, the May 18th all the way to the 22nd, it was pretty much a busy week for me. I had an exam to take, and I had classes to teach and stuff like that, and yoga. So it was pretty busy. But I didn't stick to my guns on this one, right? So with INO, and I'll pan out to the year chart so you can kind of see what I am referring to. But I want you just to see the intraday chart, right? So on the intraday chart, this was on Tuesday, and going from Monday to Tuesday, it wasn't really doing much, right? As you can see, it was just kind of just trading flat, right? And each candlestick represents 2 minutes, and this is over a 5 day span. So you see on Monday it was pretty flat, and then it got to Tuesday, and I'm trying to remember the exact reason why I bought on Tuesday, but essentially I was seeing some type of activity that would suggest maybe it was in the news. Let me just double check this to make sure. I know I didn't pull out my notes. I should just pull out my notes. Let me pull out my notes. So, without giving away what I'm about to show you, but I will still, you know, I will still show you. Um, but, you know, where are we? Yeah. Oh, there was a call. That's right. There was a $15 call on this stock, and it was trading right below 15. It was trading at this like $14 area, 14.20. So what did I do? I bought in right here, right before the market closed. It was really like 30 minutes. Like this was perfect. This was exactly where you wanted to be if you were to buy this stock. And like I said, I will zoom out so you can see the long term chart. But During the after hours, it took a dip, and it took a dip to the 13s, and then I sold when it went, before that dip happened. Um, I was so pissed, right? Because I was like, what in the world happened? I didn't know. Um, I knew there was a $15 call. With that $15 call, what? Why is it dipping? And I didn't see any news that suggested why it should dip. Then, waking up the next day, you see the spike. You see it. You see it. So clearly already now I'm waking up, I'm pissed. It's 7:20 and I'm buying here. Right? And then I'm buying some more as it comes down. And then what happens? Because when it spikes like this so early in the pre-market, what could potentially happen? It can continue to come straight up down, right? I don't want to cut, but it can come straight on down. And that is what it did. It came straight down. And instead of me noticing this downward slope, even though I noticed it, I ignored it all the way. I let it go. I said, it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce. It has to go over 15. It has to stay over 15. It has to stay over 15. And then not only did it bounce off of 15, it bounced off of 15, and then it came up to 16, but it continued to trend lower. And not only did it trend lower, right, but I continued to hold. And not only did I trend to hold, I held just as it crossed over from 15 to 14. I sold it at 14.60. So even though I knew that it was going to do something, I didn't think it was going to go up to 19. I just knew it was going to go higher, but not 19. With the went to 19. The next almost $6 a share, right? But because I was stubborn and stubborn. Like that was probably the biggest trait that you can ever have as a trader is being stubborn because it's not going to be helpful. So because of that, I missed out on the spike and I sold. And then because of my own arrogance and ignorance, knowing that hey, pre-market if it spikes that hard, you might as well just treat this as if it was a, you know, as if the market was open and it was spiked and it spiked right there. So that's what I did. I sold and then I bought. And I bought twice. And I allowed me buying twice to get in the way. And I believe there's a book on this that on Steady Trades. If you follow the podcast Steady Trades, there's a behavioral coach in there named Ann Kirk. And I'll have the name for you for the next episode, for the next video. But essentially, she talks about the dog and the wolf, and you know how you can use those analogies the way that you see fit. But she describes how you have that type of mentality that would prevent you from actually seeing your goals come into fruition, and that is exactly what happened. I missed a $6 a share spike, and I could have got this the minute I woke up because I'm usually up by like 6:30. So by 6:30, maybe 6:15, I'm already ready to see what's going on with the stock market. Um, so that's why let me just pull it out to the longer term chart, and as you can see, so often, and I was earning. This is probably my most played stock throughout the year, and because of that, I had an understanding, at least a sense of what this stock could do. Um, I said it could possibly like, after which it did, it 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 tested the $15 area because remember I bought in the 14s. I bought over on this day, and then I sold on the same day because I bought it at 14.67, and then I sold at 14, and then not only did I sell and get frustrated and buy again, um, it came right back down, right? And as you can tell on this chart, this is where you have these candlesticks. But also, I was a little more perturbed by the news when Citron Research came out saying that they were going to short this stock down to $2 a share. And that was just more. That's where more of my ignorance came into, or my ignorance and arrogance came into play, because I was I have an understanding of the research, and I felt like that Citron, which is a company that really bets against stocks, bets against them, really came up with unsubstantiated evidence or anything just to say that they wanted to bring this stock all the way down to $2. There was nothing that suggested that this stock should come down to $2. It was reported in the Nature magazine, which is a well-known magazine for scientists. So all the claims that Citron Research said about this stock really pulled this stock down unnecessarily, and causing me to lose. I can blame them all I want, but the technicals were there. The technicals all suggest that this stock was coming down. So again, I'll zoom back out. I'll zoom back out. We'll go back to Tuesday. The technicals were there. Once it tried to spike up here back to the 17s before the market opened, it just kind of crashed, right? And then it did this bounce, right? And then it just kind of held, right, ever since then. I could have sold that a long time ago and chose not to. The technicals were there. It was saying, hey, like, just get rid of me because there's nothing you could do. So regardless of the news, right? So this is the next point. Not only, first point, you you buy because you saw that the technicals suggest or even show that it has an opportunity to not only test its previous high of $18, but it is already, it's trying to test its most recent high of 1580. Well, I should say that backwards, or I just said that backwards. Not only on this day, which was successive green days, where it can test this previous high of almost $16, but if it has enough momentum and strength, it could test this $18, $19 area, which it did. Right? It was green. It was just starting to be overbought. It was, the momentum just started. Like, everything was just starting for the stock, right? And this is on the day that it actually spiked. The day before that, it wasn't overbought. Momentum was there. So, if anything, there was nothing that suggested that this stock should come down. And if I just held, I could have been up a little over $2,000, a little over. Um, so I end up losing 1,000 on this stock alone. So, when you have an opportunity to watch your what's the best word, to watch your strategy unfold and watch the technicals unfold in front of you, and you get chickened out, right? Because I chickened out. I was shaken out in the after hours. There's no real reason why to buy back in just to prove a point. And I was trying to prove a point to myself that I could still be able to earn off of this despite missing the run up, and there was no point to prove. So this is a very, very, very valuable lesson, um, to show that when you put in that order, right? So very first thing, put in the order. The order it fits your pattern, like I just showed you on the year chart. It fits the pattern. We got these three successive candlesticks. We have the next high in the 15s, maybe 16s, and then the next high after that, 18, maybe 19. Where did it go? It went straight to 19. And what happened? It came straight down. Why? Because volume, because of eagerness, when anything to run up the price, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But when the technicals are there and the technicals say, hey, don't sell me yet, follow the technicals. But when the technicals say sell me, like it did, I should have sold it, and I didn't, and I lost, right? So No, one, follow your game plan, um, and find new that supports whatever price action might be moving, whatever direction it might be in. Two, be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the ideas that you have that is conceived, right? And then with those ideas, allow them to play their course. There was no way that this was going to go any lower because it was already oversold when it came down. So there was no reason for me to even get worried to sell it. There was no news supporting it to go lower. Um, and then three, you know, only this one characteristic will prevent you from being successful: ego. Let it go. Right? So that is it. This was my loss for the week. I have some stocks that coming up for this upcoming week that I'm very looking forward to. But like I said, after my wins with CODX, um, no, CODX, GRWG, which I'm like so mad that I actually sold a little bit too soon because I still see it can like break this. It can break $7 and even go higher. So I will be keeping this on watch. SPWH is another one that went even higher. So like, so it's not like I'm losing, but I always will show you my losing trades, and this was my losing trade. Like that was a trade that I lost on. And CANF, this was another great trade, that I really, really liked. I bought and I sold, and I bought again the hold over the weekend. So we'll see how this one goes. But either way, when it comes to INO, when it comes to Citron, when it comes to any type of news, anything of that nature, follow your game plan and don't let your ego get in the way if your game plan does not come to the way that you initially saw it come to. Right? Hopefully that makes sense. If not, hopefully this video was really, really good for you. If it was, please make a comment. Anything that I can be able to share, get some more insight. Be able to share, be able to build a community with this all. I would definitely greatly appreciate your input. But yeah, man, we know what this is. We know what this is about. So we're going to keep on studying. We're going to keep on moving forward and continue making these great successive trades that we've been doing thus far in the month of May. So until the next video, I'm out.